Hi everyone and welcome back. If it's your first time here, I'm Casca and I like to make things. In today's video I'll be making a cape. After seeing Shannon Makes CAPEtember videos, I really wanted to join in. If you haven't seen her sew along CAPEtember videos, I will leave a link in the description below. But I was thinking I wouldn't be able to because I had surpassed my fabric budget for the month. Luckily though, I remembered that I had this fabric. It was earmarked for a waistcoat, but after spreading it out, I realised I might actually have enough to do a waistcoat and a cape. So with my fabric selected, next it was time to find a pattern. I found this one for free online, which is like a Little Red Riding Hood fantasy type cape. Wasn't 100% what I was looking for, but it was a good base. I wanted my cape to have little slits for my arms to come through. Actually kind of like a cape that I had when I was a little kid, and it was super cute and it was so 80s. I wish there were surviving pictures of that cape. But anyway, I didn't want the holes to just be kind of gaping in the middle of the cape. I wanted them to be a bit more streamlined. So I decided to split the cape into three and have seams going where on a coat the sleeves would be. This ended up being a little bit more tricky than I originally thought it was going to be. Luckily though, I recently made a bodice block, so I was able to use the kind of shoulder area of that to help me with reshaping things, because the original cape was just basically a big circle with some darts, so the whole shoulder area needed rejigging. After many mock-ups, I felt like I'd kind of got the shoulder area sorted out. The other problem that I had now though was the hood, which was huge. I mean massive. It could be my tiny head being the problem. I do have to wear children's glasses. These are from the kids section. So maybe a combination of my tiny head and a big hood ended up with it being like this wide. So I ended up taking about 5 inches off it in total. So with everything sorted, it was now time to cut into my fashion fabric. I did a bit of pattern Tetris to make the most out of the fabric I had. I did try to make sure the pattern was the same on each side, but I wasn't going out of my way to pattern match the closures or anything. I then cut my pieces out of the fashion fabric and the lining. Next I stitched the darts on all the hood pieces. I didn't backstitch the darts because I didn't want it to be all messy and bulky there, so I used the closet historian method of tying them off. Then I stitched the long edges of the hood pieces together. I attached the facing pieces to both the hood and the cape. I then stitched the shoulder seams together. Now for a tricky bit. I'd liken sewing the middle part or kind of sleeve area to the shoulder seams the same as inserting a sleeve. I ended up using the method of putting my hand between the two layers of fabric so that I could feel for any puckers or anything. I then clipped my corners and ironed as best as I could. The wool fabric just didn't want to iron at all. No matter what I did, like steaming anything, it just wouldn't hold it at all. I then attached the fashion fabric and the lining layer together by stitching along the seam line. This was quite fiddly, especially with the hood, because it was such a steep angle. It was advised on the pattern that I put some twill tape or something on the shoulder seam, just so that if the fabric stretches out, it gives it that little bit more structure. Sorry for my hair being in the way. I then stitched along the seam line, same as I did with the hood. Next, I attached the hood to the main cape. I did this by attaching the fashion fabric pieces together by machine and then hand stitching the lining layers together. To tidy up the facing on the hood, I folded the raw edge under and then whip stitched it down. To make sure that I was getting everything completely flat and in line, I pinned the sleeve area seam to the carpet and then kind of flattened everything out by hand. This was just so that I had something to pull against to make sure it was all flat and straight. I then folded over my interfacing layer, which I was actually using as more of a kind of stiffening layer at this point, and I pinned the lining layer over that. I did try to iron this, but again, the wool just wasn't doing it. I evened out the hem I did also do the slits for my arms to go through. The footage didn't turn out very well. Turned out my shoulder was in the way the entire time. To finish up the hem, I decided to use bias tape. This was stitched down to the front of the fabric and then folded over and stitched down by hand to the lining. Finally, I did some buttonholes, which it was a fight with this fabric, and attached some buttons. So, what do you think? I actually quite like it. Will it be a regular item in my wardrobe? Probably not. But I bet if it gets really, really cold and I need an extra layer, it'll come in handy then. I really like the pattern on the fabric. I think that's really pretty. But I do think it would be more wearable if the fabric wasn't as stiff. I feel it just sticks out a bit, looks a bit awkward. Also, I know the hemline looks a bit rubbish. I did want to do a line of top stitching to kind of flatten out the bottom of like that area, but I know that over time that fabric is going to stretch and warp the hem a little bit, so I wanted to kind of leave it and then finish the hem later on, but still have it wearable for this video. This cape does have two little secrets, which I love. First, secret pockets. Everybody loves pockets. I couldn't decide where to have them on the front and have them looking nice, so the logical solution was to have them on the inside. I've got one for my phone and I've got a couple more for wallet, keys, that kind of stuff, so no need for a bag. The other secret thing is this. This hood is massive. Smaller than it was, and a big hood isn't a bad thing. I love a big hood, but I do end up with this problem. So I decided to put a little loop of ribbon in the hood so I could put a clip in there and attach it to my hair. No more hood falling down. I'm really pleased with what I managed to achieve. Could it be better? Of course it could be better. I made it. There's some dodginess going on around the shoulders, for example, but on the other hand, I am so pleased with how neat the hood looks. I might have a go at making another one at some point in the future, probably with a less stiff fabric, so it's a bit more wearable. If you enjoyed this video and fancy giving it a like, it would be very much appreciated. I'm always open to your suggestions and constructive criticism, so anything you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to see more videos of me trying to make things, then why not subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified next time I upload a video. I do my very best to upload a new video twice a month. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!